morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Anustha Acharya. The top stories first. Lawmakers demand amendment to the policies. Independent candidate Janata elected new mayor of Kathmandu. UML Sunita Dangol secures post of deputy mayor. Department of Passport to remain open on Sunday. The department will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. during the public holiday. Russia's land sanction imposed by US and its allies blames the West for the global food crisis. And Super Rai wins Nepal Premier Golf Championship. With this win, Rai becomes the new #1 golfer of Nepal. And now the news in detail. The National Assembly has started deliberation on the government's policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year. A report.
The policies and programs for the new fiscal year were presented in joint session of Parliament by President Vidya Devi Bhandari on May 24. During yesterday's meeting of Upper House, Minister for Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, Govinda Koirala, on behalf of Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba, proposed the meeting to hold discussions on government's new policies and programs. Taking part in the deliberations, Bhairav Sundar Shrestha, Shekhar Kumar Singh, Bhagwati Neupane and Bimala Ghimire, who proposed amendments to the policies, defended the amendment proposals. The MPs raised concern regarding one household, one tap program announced by the government, stating that although it assures drinking water 460,000 people, the lawmaker doubt the quality of water supply. People need pure drinking water and we want the government to clarify us who were into target group for high standard water and who are of the medium standard, they said. They alleged the recent local level elections were held in an unjust way despite the government claiming to be peaceful. They also sought amendments regarding the government's decision to exclude over 1,400 road projects introduced by the previous government. The deliberations shall continue during the next meeting of Upper House.
Balendra Shah, an independent candidate for the mayoral post in Kathmandu metropolitan city, has won the coveted post with a wide margin victory. According to the Election Commission, Shah garnered 61,767 votes to beat his nearest rival Srijana Singh of the Nepali Congress by 23,426 votes. Singh secured 38,341 votes cast during the May 13 local election. Another contestant, Keshav Stapit from the CPN-UML, secured 38,117 votes. Shah, 32, is a structural engineer by profession but is better known as a rapper by the name Balen. Meanwhile, CPN-UML's candidate for deputy mayor, Sunita Dangol, secured a landslide victory. She garnered 68,612 votes for the post of deputy mayor to defeat Rameshwar Shrestha of CPN Unified Socialist, who secured 23,806 votes. Leader of the main opposition party in the House of Representatives, KP Sharma Oli, said the government's policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year has not addressed any pertinent topic. A report.
Taking part in the deliberation on the policies and programs of the government that started yesterday in the lower house of parliament, main opposition party leader KP Oli alleged that the policies and programs have failed to address any problem faced the country. President Vidya Devi Bhandari had presented the policies and programs in a joint session of the Federal Parliament on May 24. Oli sarcastically expressed happiness, saying that the present government has brought forth the same policies and programs that were presented by the government under his leadership. The former Prime Minister, however, expressed objection over the removal of the slogan "Prosperous Nepal, Happy Nepali." which he claimed to have established himself. Stating that the main opposition party stood for social goodwill, justice, and equality, he urged all the parties to move ahead towards national interest. The main opposition party leader urged the government to accept the report prepared by eminent persons group of Nepal and India. Oli also accused the government of not holding dialogue with it on matters of national interest. He remarked that most of the topics in the policies and programs were abstract and mistrustful of the government mechanism. Oli alleged that the foreign policy has been reduced to a mere tool of power interest of the ruling coalition.
Majority of people have criticized the government's decision to provide two-day public holiday, saying it is not relevant to avoid the country's economic crisis. As per the government's decision, most of the hospitals, educational institutions and offices have been closed for 2 days a week, and it has adversely affected many walks of life. The decision of two-day public holiday was to reduce spending in the country. Some private and government organizations have commented that the government's decision to grant public leave on Sunday to avoid the economic crisis will not be effective. The two-day public holiday given by the government has directly affected the education and health sectors. The education sector has been hit hard since the government gave leave on Saturdays and Sundays from May 15 to control the usage of petroleum products. Stating that the government's decision was not effective, various organizations have demanded that the decision be reversed. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 14 new cases of COVID-19 across the country. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, the number of active cases of COVID-19 has dropped to 150 after 9 people recovered from the disease. So far, a total of 979,062 people have tested positive for the virus in Nepal, while 966,962 people have already recovered. No new death from the virus was reported yesterday. The death toll from the virus remains constant at 11,951. Nepal is currently among top 66 countries affected by coronavirus. USA tops the list with 85.57 million cases, followed by India with 43.14 confirmed cases. The virus has infected more than 530.15 million people worldwide and has claimed over 6.30 million lives. Janata Prasharan and Prakashan Limited has reached an agreement with Global IME Capital Limited to issue an initial public offering of the company. Chairman of JanataTelevision Vijay Kumar Paudel expressed his belief that the direct investment of the people will reveal the real information and maintain neutrality. Janata Prasharan and Prakashan Limited, founded by 1,200 ordinary shareholders, will be the first media house in South Asia to issue primary shares. Speaking at the signing ceremony, the chairman of the company, Dr. Vijay Kumar Paudel, said that the government-run media houses are under the influence of the government administration, while the private media houses are doubtful of being neutral. Only a media outlet with public investment can provide unbiased news and information, he claimed. Similarly, Parasmani Thakal, Chief Executive Officer of Global IME Capital Limited, said that increasing involvement of companies in various sectors in the capital market would solve the problems of fluctuation in the capital market. He also added that he was happy to connect the media house with the capital market. During the program, Tangkapantar, news chief of JanataTelevision, claimed that it is first time in South Asia that the news outlet is issuing an IPO. The students of Chapel Hill-based St. Lawrence College have been protesting against sexual harassment of female student by the college teacher. The students staged a protest at Kathmandu Maitigar Mandala against a school teacher for sexually abusing female students. During the protest, the students chanted slogans like "We need justice" and "Respect women." The students have demanded immediate action against the teacher who sexually abused them. Speaking at the protest program, agitating students Prasanna Raimazhi said that a teacher had called the student to his office and sexually abused her for the last 3 months.
यो चाहिँ एक सेक्सुअल हेरेसमेन्ट हो मेरो क्लासमेटलाई बिफोर 3 मन्थदेखि चाहिँ सरले अफिसमा बोलाउँदै त मेरो बेड पार्टनर हो मलाई बेडमा चाहिने जति पनि ह्याप्पिनेस हुन्छ त्यो दे भनेर हेरेस गरिरहनु भएको रहेछ उसले चाहिँ हामीलाई डरले नभनेर अनि त्यसपछि अलि अझै एकदम हुन्छ नि अब एकदम सरदेखि एकदम प्रेसर आएपछि अनि उसले हामीलाई सेयर गर्यो फ्यामिलीलाई सेयर गर्यो त्यसपछि हामीले प्रोटेस्ट निकाल्यो
The students have been protesting for some time now, demanding action against the teacher who looked down on the female students. And now the news from economic front. The Department of Passport under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has decided to provide services on Sunday even though it is a public holiday. The department took such decision on Wednesday in line with the government's policies and programs of providing electronic passport in an easy manner. The department claimed it will provide passports to the service seekers in an easy and smooth manner by operating service even on the public holiday in view of the increasing number of service seekers coming to the department. The department said that it will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday every week from May 29 onwards until an alternative arrangement is made. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back. Now the international news. Moscow is ready to make a significant contribution to averting a looming food crisis if the West lifts sanctions imposed on Russia over Ukraine. President Vladimir Putin has said, as reported by Al Jazeera. During a call with Italy's Prime Minister Mario Draghi on Thursday, Putin said Moscow would move to overcome the food crisis through the export of grain and fertilizer on the condition that politically motivated restrictions imposed by the West are lifted. Ukraine is one of the world's largest exporters of wheat, corn and sunflower oil, but the war and the Russian blockade of its port have halted much of that flow, endangering world food supplies. Many of those ports are now also heavily mined. Russia also is a significant grain exporter, said Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov. Said the West must cancel an unlawful decision that hampering chartering ships and exporting grain. With the war grinding into the fourth month, world's leaders have ramped up calls for solutions. This food crisis is real and we must find solutions. World Trade Organization Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala said on Wednesday at the World Economic Forum meetings in Davos, Switzerland. As Al Jazeera media network has assigned a legal team to refer the killing of its journalist Shirin Abu Akleh to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. In addition to the killing of Abu Akleh, who was shot dead by Israeli forces on May 11 near the Jenin refugee camp in the occupied West Bank, the ICC submission will also include the Israeli bombing and total destruction of Al Jazeera's office in Gaza in May 2021. The network vows to follow every path of achieve justice for Shirin and ensure those responsible for her killing are brought to justice and held accountable in all international justice and legal platforms and courts. Earlier on Thursday, the Palestinian Authority announced the results of an investigation into the killing of Palestinian American Abu Akleh that showed Israeli forces deliberately shot and killed the veteran reporter. Riyad Mansour, Palestine ambassador to the United Nations, told a meeting of the UN Security Council on Thursday that the killing of Abu Akleh was not a mistake as reported by Al Jazeera. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Shukra Bahadur Rai won the Surya Nepal Premier Golf Championship for his third title of the season and seventh overall. A report.
Shukra Rai carded 3 under 69 in the final round to put the winning total of 19 under 269 at the Gokarnak Golf Club on Thursday. He registered a 6-stroke victory over pro Neeraj Tamang. With his third title of the season, Shukra received rupees 250,000 and became the new number 1 pro with the total earning of rupees 663,500. Neeraj earned rupees 155,000. Another pro Bhuvan Nagarkoti came third with the total score of 12 under 270 after he carded 2 under 70 in the final day. Bhuvan, who won 2 events under the tour, received rupees 110,000 and finished second in order of merit with season's earning of rupees 580,500. Wangchen Dondup won the amateur section title with the total score of 277. He played 1 over 73 in the final round and finished 4th overall. Mahendra Fagami was second in the amateur season and 5th overall at the 10 under 278. A total of 54 golfers, 43 pros and 11 amateurs took part in the 8th and final event of the Surya Nepal Golf Tour 2021 and 22, which carried a total prize purse of rupees 1.461 million. Surya Nepal Private Limited Vice President Marketing Dipra Lahiri, President of Nepal PGA Ravindraman Shrestha, and Nepal Golf Association President Tasi Ghale handed over the prize to the winners. The Nepal PGA felicitated its member and referee Ramesh Nagarkoti and staff Ramji Shrestha, Raj Bahak and Samir Tamang for their contribution in the tour's event.
Thanks once again. Upper House begins deliberation on new policies and programs. Lawmakers demand amendment to the policies. Independent candidate Valendra Shah elected new mayor of Kathmandu. Yama Sunita Dangol secures post of deputy mayor. Department of Passport will remain open on Sunday. The department will be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. during the public holiday. Russia slams sanctions imposed by US and its allies, blames the West for the global food crisis. And Shukra Rai wins Surya Nepal Premier Golf Championship. With this win, Rai becomes the new number 1 golfer of Nepal. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.